Clark Brewster is the attorney for Stormy Daniels, the adult film star whom Trump was convicted of paying hush money to influence the 2016 election. Clark, great to have you here. You were the one who broke the news of the guilty verdicts to Stormy last night. What was her reaction? You said she was emotional.
She was. I was surprised, but in telling her that I got a pretty instant report from the courthouse, and so it hadn't hit the news yet when I told her, really. And she was really kind of taken aback. She got emotional with me, and we talked about what she's been through. And I think it was the culmination of a lot of things, the finality of it, and the worry and nervousness that she had throughout leading up to this.
Emotional joy, or
no, there was no. She didn't express to me any true happiness about the conviction. It was more or less a relief that it's over, and really kind of even surprised at the verdict, even though we anticipated it was either going to be a hung jury or probably a conviction. She really, the finality of it really hit her hard. And we had a great talk. I told her how proud I was of her for what she's been through and coming here and putting herself, to the cross-examination for 2 days. But
were you in there?
Yes.
Well, how did the jury seem to react to her testimony? There was a lot of her testimony. A lot of people felt was too graphic, was too much. She seemed meandering on the stand initially.
Well, I didn't consider her meandering. I mean, when you're a witness, you're responding directly to what the questions are, and she really caught her stride.
But the judge had to say a few times, just answer the question. Don't give contextual information, for example.
That almost always happens for a non-expert. But I thought she did a great job in dealing with the cross and being able to respond directly and withstand a fairly withering cross by Miss Necklace.
It was quite withering. It seemed also to be sort of designed to shame her in some ways. And Trump has attacked her repeatedly during this whole process, calling her a con job, low IQ, criticizing her appearance, calling her a liar. Did she have any second thoughts about putting herself through this?
She takes that kind of attack pretty well, and she's responsive to it to the extent that she can be. But it would hurt anybody to have that happen. I do want to say this. I don't think this has really been spoke of much. Mr. Trump was indicted by a grand jury. Those are citizens that came and gave their time to review the evidence before he was ever charged. And it was returned by a grand jury, not a politician, but a grand jury. Secondly, Stormy did not testify in front of the grand jury.
No, she did not.
And so the question then became whether she would be called as a witness in this case. And so over a year period of time, or close to a year, I met with the prosecution team a number of times. You couldn't have a more diligent, responsible, good officers of the court than the prosecutors I dealt with. And the idea that this is some kind of fix or some kind of dishonest prosecution is offensive. These were very ethical, careful thinking, highly prepared prosecutors. And I'll tell you, they would call me on Sunday nights. They were working 7 days a week, and I'm talking for months. And and as a defense lawyer, you see things that happen with prosecutions that you're really upset about, but these lawyers were ethical, honest, and direct, and they didn't take advantage. The other thing that's offensive is the jury that spent weeks in that courtroom listening to the evidence and making a decision. For someone to say that has never even been there, to say that they're part of some kind of scheme, is really offensive.
I have to admit, Scotty had absolutely no basis for saying that they were watching the news media or being influenced by social media. We don't know who these jurors are, and they were strictly...
Well, they took an oath not to do that.
Exactly.
And I think they seem to be very responsible.
I think there's an assumption by some that they just went ahead and broke all the rules and were unethical, and it's dangerous to make those kinds of assumptions. People's very livelihoods and lives are at stake.
Another thing, Elizabeth, that is really important here is why didn't he testify? If all this was somehow made up, why doesn't he take the stand, put his hand in the air, and let the jury hear his testimony? The only time he ever spoke was after the proceedings, where he vilified everyone.
Thanks so much for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.